Welcome to Beyond the Qubit. I'm your host, Frank Dekker. Today on Beyond the Qubit, we welcome Olga Mamlyga, co-founder of Quantum Scout Apps, and the team developed True Quantum Networks. Olga is a quantum cybersecurity pioneer who has turned first-hand experience with cybersecurity conflict. She grew up in Ukraine and she was watching critical infrastructure that came under attack into a mission to protect the world's digital backbone. Her company, Quantum Scout Apps, is building a physical level protection for all 7 layers of the OSI stack, combining multiple security defenses. Welcome, Olga. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate that you are here. Can you describe True Quantum Networks?
Yes, of course. True Quantum Network is a complex architecture which can be built on today's IT infrastructure. Our True Quantum Network is shielding all 7 layers of the OSI model. The OSI model is a framework that explains how computers communicate over a network. It divides communications into 7 layers, each with a specific role. And our security is based on the hidden features of quantum mechanics, where part of the superposition remains in the complex part, the imaginary term, which can't be intercepted without getting noticed by the system. Our solution is robust, fit for dual use, even under harshest conditions, fast scalable to large size, and the failing of 1 or 2 security layers does not compromise the security of any part of the system. And our True Quantum Network is meant for protecting, shielding critical infrastructure.
Okay, that's very interesting. And what are the main problems that you're trying to solve with True Quantum Networks?
The next wave of cyber threats is coming, and we all know this, and quantum computing, AI-powered attacks, and aggressive state-sponsored operations are targeting the systems that keep society running, like energy, finance, defense, healthcare, communications. Today's defenses, even post-quantum encryption, can only delay the inevitable, and our True Quantum Network is protecting exactly those systems from the current attacks and from the attacks in the future.
Can you explain a little bit the relationship between True Quantum Networks and IT AI? And IT AI, when I did my research, they have a very broad range of activities, from high performance batteries to converting desert into fruitful land, to quantum networks, and to cybersecurity. So can you explain a little bit what is the relationship and how does it work?
Yes, of course. We started ITI Solutions in 2022 with post-quantum resilient communication system. And this was based on 30 years of experience of co-founder. And of course, in this period of time, she learned, she studied, she experienced a lot. So her expertise is truly broad. Plus, we have the team members whose interests are even broader, and head of research and development of ITI Solutions is also an inventor, and battery is his invention, and he was always interested in reforestation. So he had a chance to go to Egypt, and there he met actually the heart and soul behind Forestier. It's a reforestation project in Siva Oasis, and he got to know him, and he said, that's an amazing person, let's join their project. So we are joining the project with our 3 technologies to supply them with electricity and water. So as you can understand, the companies are built on expertise, experience, and interest. And we started with ITI Solutions, and then we took a look. Yes, it's a bit too broad. We should separate quantum from IT, and that's why we said, let's have Quantum Scouts. And Quantum Scouts is the company for quantum networks and post-quantum resilient communication system and consultancy in quantum. And I understand what recently I have just written a post. Yeah, we can't go niche because the expertise is so big. And after so many years, there is so much to share. And we want to share and to improve the current solutions. And that's why it's so broad. Yes.
Now, thank you for having you on the show. Can you introduce yourself? What are your fundamental beliefs and how are they shaped?
Yes, my name is Olga Mamlyga, and I was born in Ukraine and I graduated in Ukraine. I studied English and German, and in 2014 I wanted actually to move to the Crimea to start there part of my life. But because of the war, I had to go to Germany and to stay in Germany. So this was already a first impact. And then in 2021, decided to move to Denmark, and the war happened. This was really very big for me. It took me months to recover, and we saw what could we actually do, because you're always hesitant. We have solutions, we're working, thinking yes, we should open the company, and then this was exactly the push. Yes, think about it. We can actually help with communication system that could potentially protect even defense sector. And that's why we said, yeah, okay, let's found the company in Denmark as we're already here. So it's very personal. It turned out to be very personal, although it wasn't meant like this. Yes. So
You've been born in Ukraine and then you want to move to Crimea?
yes, this was a lovely plan. Yes, we wanted to live in Yevpatoria, but it wasn't possible.
And why did you want to go to Crimea? Did you have specific reasons if you want to study or for a job?
No, I was thinking I should have kids there. It's a lovely place because of the sea, and I lived actually near the Azov Sea, so it would be I was thinking it would be lovely to live near Black Sea. So it was really a perfect plan, and I couldn't. Yeah, and that was really a big shock. And from that moment on, I see, yeah, we can help. So let's do it. Let's go into it, because we are in industry, in critical infrastructure. So if you don't have really a mission, don't start there, because this is too messy, it takes too long. So you truly must have some personal motivation to start.
And what did it do with you? So that the war started, and how did it contribute to your key beliefs?
I understood critical infrastructure has to be protected. I see what is going on now here in Europe, how many people are suffer because of cyber attacks, and you understand if you can do something, you have to do it. You just can't sit and hope somebody else will do it. And we contribute our part, and this is already a lot. And you go out of your tiny box you're living in and into the world and say, yeah, let's do something together. And it turned out there are so many people that actually share our point of view, and they're also doing the same with what they can do. And it was, for us, it was amazing, because when you are sitting and you're not sharing your point of view, you believe you're alone in the world. No, there are so many people, and it's amazing. That's why I am now the one who is talking with the speech model, going around talking to people, building connections. Yes, and it's very helpful, because sometimes you believe, especially in the beginning, maybe we are alone. No, we are not. There are so many people that are joining us. They want to be partners with support, with everything possible. Yeah, and because of the personal motivation, experience, we are moving forward. So in times when when we think, oh, it's stuck somehow. Yeah, but you remember, it's about critical infrastructure saving us. Yeah, of course. Let's do it. Yeah, yes. And then we are having inside of our small team then a conversation, pep talk, and let's continue. You can't give up. That's
So the
point.
war with Crimea and the war with Ukraine, more recently, both had a major impact on your personal life, and that created, that shaped you as a character.
Yes.
And it created an urgency maybe to act. Is that fair to say?
Yes, that created definitely the urgency, because before the war, that actually was started for Ukrainians in 2014 when they invaded Crimea. And in 2022, everyone understood that cybersecurity is actually a thing, that yes, we have to do something in this field. Before we had the conversations with others, nobody would even consider it like, yeah, what is cybersecurity? What is the security of communication system? But in 2022, it was really out of the sudden important for people. We have to protect ourselves, our democracy.
Okay, that's clear. What are your key beliefs and how do they help you to progress through quantum networks?
We, and me personally, we treasure our democracies. I want to be able to say what I think. Sometimes it might be not very pleasant, but this is my truth, and it's really nice to share my opinion. And this is what we all treasure, the democracies, our system, and we don't want to live in the system where you have to keep mum, where somebody else is telling you what you should do, how you should do, what you should say, and what you are allowed to study or where you can't go. And this is truly for us very important. To protect what we have. Of course, it's not perfect. We understand it. We're not delusional. It's not perfect, but it's what we have. And this is where we can live and thrive. And that's, I would say, the mission number one is to protect our democracies and lives of people by protecting critical infrastructure.
Okay. What problems are you trying to solve with through quantum networks?
Yes, as we took a look, also did our risk assessment, our head of research and development took a look and said quantum computing is posing a threat to critical infrastructure, to critical systems. There are lots and lots of cyber attacks on the critical infrastructure. Some we know about others we don't know because it's not very public. And we took a look also what academia is doing, what big companies are doing. The critical infrastructure has to be protected. Power grids, water supply, health sector. Because if this is gone, then the lives are under threat. 1 year ago, I had a conversation and I was presenting our True Quantum Network. And I said, critical infrastructure is actually lives of our parents, of us, our kids, the ones we love. And people were sitting, what does it have to do with actually lives? It's just critical infrastructure somewhere far away. But after the recent hacks on the hospitals, on the dam, there is no such question. So we're actually protecting lives by protecting critical systems. On another hand, also all the hacks on cryptocurrencies, financial sector. The recent news, 5 years ago, there was a big theft of cryptocurrency. And in today's value, approximately $14.5 billion US dollars were stolen. And this is 5 years ago, and we figure it out now. So how much is actually hidden? We don't know. So the need to protect what matters is truly ginormous. And the solutions that are now are not enough, not sufficient. Because current solutions are concentrating on maybe on one level. But
for the listeners, how many levels are there? And can you walk us through a little bit on that?
Yeah, for example, OSI model of the system of the internet has 7 layers. And if we take a look at the solutions, they concentrate on one part. But what is with your operating system? Your system as safe and secure as, for example, your operating system, as the user level. So they have to protect from point 0 to up, and not, for example, just data transfer or just communication sector. And what is with data centers? What is with the sensors? So that's why we built a very complex solution to protect 7 layers of OSI model of the internet, of all the systems, plus against sabotage, plus data centers, plus sensors, because sensors are extremely vulnerable. And as we know, hackers are not following the book. They don't say, wow, I can't go through PQC. I don't go around Of course not. They say
And
it's
PQC stand for?
post-quantum cryptography. Currently, it's everywhere, a big thing. And we agree post-quantum cryptography is a key to protect partly your data, but it can't be enough. That's the point. The hackers are not following the book. They see where the system is vulnerable and they go there. And if they go around, then they go around.
Okay.
And our quantum network is meant to protect against any and every threat.
Threats.
Yes, of course, because it's everyone is talking quantum threat. Yes, but take a look now, today. We don't have to take a look into the future. There are so many hacks without any quantum. Hackers were almost in each and every system. So you don't need to invent anything and wait for 2000, let's say 30, 33. They were in each and every system. Now they're using AI. And what can they do potentially then with quantum and supercomputers as a hybrid attack? This is, you have to think now.
Olga, I want to park it a little bit. I come back to that. Maybe to summarize this part first, in one sentence, how would you say what problems is true quantum network solving?
Yes, we are solving the problem of critical infrastructure. We protect critical infrastructure in the way that it's unbreakable for the next decades to come, because our solution is meant on physics. So no matter the development in mathematics, our solution remains stable and working and functioning. Are so bad, especially on the critical infrastructure. The companies are hacked, we all know, we are reading it almost every day, but the dam is under attack, the health sector, power grids, banks, cryptocurrency. So our true quantum network was truly well thought through, because the experts are coming from cybersecurity and networks, so truly paranoid. Sabotage is impossible. True quantum network is built on existing infrastructure, but in the way that sabotage from inside and from outside is impossible. It will be immediately detected and can be prevented. So as I said before, it's a very complex solution, and we used a lot of ways to protect the system, not only quantum. Quantum, as I said, is just part of it. Because of the complexity, because you have to see where the attack can happen. That's why we say it's to protect everything against each and every threat. And if there is already malware in the system, and we build and we put the system into the quantum network, this malware can't call home. It's neutralized. So the system from outside, you can't even see it. So that's why it's additional way to protect it. The attackers can't see that the system exists for them to go in. Yeah, it's all really thought through, designed, engineered, and it's important that it's engineered and not just built by the physicists. Because if you're engineer, you want to do it on a big scale. You understand, yes, it's more than the lab, and the conditions are different. And this is what we saw. You must understand you can scale up and that it's functioning, that it's actually protecting, and it's cost effective. Because if you're building a tiny somewhere in the lab, the costs are one thing. But if you're building, for example, over the power grid or over the bank, the cost will be different. So we thought about this. And as I said, when it comes to technology, our guys really thought everything well through. Because of experience, expertise, and also because who is working in cybersecurity understands me. It's paranoia. You want to be really, really certain nothing will happen. And it's really on the layers.
And what does true quantum networks not protect against?
A direct missile hit. This was because I discussed them with our guys. I said, direct missile hit. Even there is electromagnetic field, if there is atom bomb, still it can function. And the best part is, if one of the layers to protect is out, it doesn't compromise the entire system. The system continues and is protected. So, as I said, when it comes to technologies, yes, but
the idea and the principle that you say, look, quantum encryption or quantum key distribution is only focusing on one layer, and quantum key distribution can be expensive, but we need protection on all the layers. I think that idea makes a lot of sense.
yes, thank you. Yes, exactly.
Olga, what do you see as the most important bottlenecks for quantum networks and cybersecurity?
I would say it's this knowledge gap, to explain it's the challenge for us to explain to people that it's not in 10, 20 years quantum network, that we can actually build it, because we talked also to high profile architects outside of the company, and it was also challenging to explain to them that it's not the future and it's not as complicated and cost consuming as they believe. And this for us the challenge, to explain the value they might understand, but to understand that it's now, it's present, it's not the future.
And can you explain the listeners in 1 minute, why is it now and not 10 years out?
Because you have to be prepared for what is coming. We can't even estimate what quantum technologies will bring to us. And quantum network can protect all the critical systems already from tomorrow on. We can start rolling out tomorrow. We don't have to wait. And we can do it because we worked in the field of networks, communication systems, and it's all based on the education we got in physics.
And how important is store now, decrypt later? Can you maybe explain to the listeners what exactly it is?
Yes.
Why does it matter?
Yeah, it does matter, because now the data is stolen and the data is encrypted, and they hope to decrypt it later with quantum computers. Yes, but it's also a bit more complex, because not all data remains sensitive after, let's say, 1-2 years. There is also the problem. You must know what you are stealing, that this data will be then decrypted in 10 years and it's still valid in 10 years, that you still need it in 10 years. Yeah, exactly. So it's truly also depends on the situation, depends on the sector you're talking about. Yeah, and quantum computers are meant to break codes. What can we do? I didn't invent them.
How do you see quantum networks evolving from today and 5-10 years out? What are the big things that we have to pay attention to?
Yes, as I said, about quantum technologies, we underestimate the disruptiveness of the technology. We can't even imagine what they can bring to us. And when we were developing quantum network, we were thinking that quantum network can withstand those attacks in 50 years. It was important to see that this system is still there after 50 years. And when the risk assessment wasn't done by me, I didn't study neither in engineering nor in physics. So, and when people who did it, who have been working in the field, say, yeah, you must be careful. You can't estimate the risk now from what we know, from the mathematics we know, from everything what we know. We can't even estimate. This is so big. Let's be prepared, because you can't start getting ready when it's already there around the corner. It's too late. And as we can see, you can't stop now quantum. It's such a big thing. The developments are coming from all the sides, from all the countries, and all the countries are protecting it extremely. So what is really there? What is really developed and how it's working? We only can imagine.
What is the most under-invested failure mode in OT?
I would say it's recovery plan in those systems. That's why one of our solutions is actually business continuity plan. What do after the attack? And there is a lot missing there. The companies truly must see and invest in cybersecurity, because cybersecurity is the thing. And you can see now so many insurances don't pay now, and it will only grow because you can't be unprotected. You can't invest, I don't know, 50 euros per month for solution, a patchwork, and hope that security will compensate. It's impossible. You must see that your system is protected, that you can recover your system if the attack happened. And it is very difficult in so many companies because the minute, also interesting, 25% of all the CISOs are now fired after the cyber attack on the company. And the minute it's getting personal, when they are really responsible with their private assets, maybe then there will be a change. Because it can't last forever, that such enormous damage is done and insurances keep paying. It won't last forever.
Mhm. What is one misconception about quantum risk you would wish that it would die?
Yes, this is what I said already, I guess, that we must understand we don't see the real destructiveness of quantum technologies now. And we must be prepared now and not when it's already happening and it's too late. Quantum is there. We can't change it and we have to be prepared. And better now because it all takes time. As I said, in banking, it takes 7 years. So if we start talking about protecting against quantum threat in 7 years and start implementing it in 7 years, you can understand there is not enough time.
Okay, Olga, my last question. Can you summarize in 2 minutes why investors should pay attention to 2QN?
Yes, first of all, it's important to remember, in our case, mission first, security first, and profits the second. We are there to bring long-term value. We are there to protect critical infrastructure, to protect lives of people. And we are open to cooperate with investors, with partners, with infrastructure providers who share our mission, who understand the importance of our mission. And we are, as I said, just come to us, let's talk, and let's protect what matters, exactly the structure, the very basic where our democracy is lying on. Let's talk. And we're small, but it doesn't mean we can't do it because we have experience.
I think that's the experience that you mentioned with your co-creator, co-founder. I think that's also important. And in our introduction call, you also mentioned that because of security reasons, you are cautious to expose this person too much. Is that correct?
Exactly. I don't want the co-founder to be exposed. It's unnecessary. Security is above publicity, above revenue. It's critical. It's about critical systems. And there you have to be cautious. And I see, fortunately, there are a lot of conversation in this direction going on out there. And people started to understand in times of war, you have to protect the core of your company. Something that is truly interruptive and something disruptive, because we can disrupt hackers and we have to protect more than just IP.
And I think one of the things that I found really interesting is that you have a solution that covers not only one layer. So your point is most security companies, cybersecurity, focus only on one layer, and your solution focus on the total picture of all the 7 layers.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Because we understood if you have just one protection, hackers don't follow the rules. They will find a person who can do sabotage from inside. And you can have PQC, you can have quantum key distribution, and there it goes. And the same with operational system. If your operational system is vulnerable, it doesn't matter what protection is around it. That's the point.